Hello there, everybody. Welcome out to the Dice Tower. My name is Chris Yi.
I'm Wendy Yi.
We're taking a look at this. This is Airmail from Ludonova. This is a game about delivering. It's not quite pick up and deliver.
It's building routes and delivering to those routes.
It's just kind of deliver and deliver and deliver and deliver.
Is that a song?
I don't know.
Deliver.
Signed,
and then you build
sealed,
a route and
delivered.
Deliver.
Designed by Tony Lopez, art by David Prieto. So anyway, we're going to show you how this game plays, and after Wendy does that, we'll give you our thoughts.
Airmail is a game about building up your plane routes, improving your technologies, and eventually delivering packages and goods to different locations across the board. You will start the game with a hand of cards. These cards in your hand will be either permit cards, which are used for taking actions and getting operation points, and then you have cards that are special deliveries. These are essentially endgame points that you can get throughout the game if you happen to deliver to these locations by the end of the game. Now, on your turn, you have the choice of either playing a permit card or asking for a grant. If you play a permit card, it has to match similar color and symbols, very dominoes style, and then you will get 3 action points. Those 3 action points can be used for a variety of things, like improving technology, building routes, and such. Okay, let's talk first about increasing your technology. That's these little gears over here. You can spend 1 operation point per turn to move up on this track. This track then allows you to deliver 2 longer length routes. So for example, green can deliver only 2 length routes, whereas red can deliver 5. And then it also gives you some sort of bonus when you make a delivery. For example, when you make a delivery here in green, you get to draw another one of these permit cards. Another couple things that you can spend those operation points on is simply drawing a permit card. So you can draw 1, add it to your hand for future use, as well as building routes. You can build a route that is connected to whatever color of permit card you played. So for example, I played red, so I could build this route right here, which connects red to yellow. Finally, you can spend an operation point to make a delivery. Now, there's quite a few rules for making a delivery, and they're very specific. So to make a delivery, it has to either start or finish in the color that you chose. So we chose red, so it either needs to start or finish in red. You then have to have enough technology points or advanced technology enough that you can build a route that is that long. So red is currently at 5, so that's fine. We can do a 3-length route. Then you have to make sure that there are planes along that route completely. So it doesn't matter if it's yours or others. You can pay people $1 to use their planes. But then finally, it needs to start in a location where you have a plane. So I could not start here because red does not have access to this spot right here in Salt Lake City. Once I put this down, then it does. Then there's one last rule, and that is that you have to switch between divisions. So you can't deliver from red to red or yellow to yellow, but instead you have to deliver from red to yellow. So for example, we could go from Elko to Sioux Falls because we have all of those requirements met. We have access in length, we have the right technology, we're starting in red because we played a red card, we're also starting where we have our own airplane, and we are delivering to a different division. So then we can deliver over here to Sioux Falls. We get this bonus immediately because we delivered somewhere where there is a bonus, and then also we get the bonus based on our technology and whatever things we get from that. Finally, on your turn, if you do not have a permit card you want to place, you don't get those operation points, but instead you get to draw a permit card. You can either draw one of these public ones or you can get a special permit card, which is essentially a wild color. And then you can move your plane. Now, when you choose to move your plane, you will continue to always go in that direction and you can only move forward. So I can move this plane forward to any one of these cards and gain the bonus in the middle. But then I will have to only be able to move forward from there. As the game continues, we will eventually be placing cards on the track where there are already these decree cards located. And these are essentially like little bits of scoring or little bits of special stuff that happens to everybody when a card is placed there. So when I go to place a card here, we will immediately score everything that's going on this card, and then we'll set it aside. Once we have scored 5 of these cards, then the end game is triggered. We will then do 1 additional round after that, and then score up points to see who has the most. Now, points come from a variety of places. They are the money that you earn from deliveries throughout the game. They're also, if you complete these special delivery cards, you'll get the money that is listed on the top for completing them, as well as a kind of set collection bonus for delivering in different colored regions. So you add all of those up, and then the player with the most points wins.
I have to say, Chris, doing that overview made me realize how many rules are in delivering.
Yeah, so this is one of those. So sometimes people complain when a game has like a bunch of simple rules and then one action kind of has like a lot of rules to it.
And this definitely did that. The whole like, hey, where you start matters, where you deliver matters, but they only sometimes matter, but on certain requirements they matter. But then this.
They have to match a color of the card that you played that you dominoed together, but but either the delivery or the start part of it.
That whole thing is, as I was talking about it, I was like, and finally this. Oh, also this one. Also this. So I feel like even when we played, that was a little bit frustrating for me. Was just like, there were moments where I was like, ooh, perfect, I'm going to deliver here. Except that I can't do this because I can't start where I want to start so that I can complete this objective so I can deliver here as I so desire.
The first plane from whence it comes must be yours, but you can use other players' routes and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or I can make this huge route, but it's all in the same color. Okay, let me try again. Like there's just these requirements there that I struggle with a little bit.
For me, I had a much easier time understanding those rules, but agreed that when I've played it with people and I teach it to them, I seem to have understood. I grasp things so fast. I'm so smart.
So smart.
I'm
Chris.
the smartest person in this chair at this moment.
How do I compare? I don't.
Right. No, but it is one of those rules that does trip up people. I've said this before in some of our reviews that sometimes people say, well, you overemphasize how important that first play is too much. But we teach games to a lot of people.
We do.
And so at conventions, we teach games to people. So those first game little hiccups, like that little, the fact that there are as many rules as there are about deliveries, it becomes more relevant if you also teach games to a lot of people rather than have a group that will play this over and over again.
I think so, and I think that the fun part of this game is the puzzle of it, and it just adds a little bit more restrictions and rules on figuring out that puzzle.
For me, it doesn't, though, right? I have a lot of fun with this. I think that the whole delivery rules, like, got it. There's a few more rules that maybe almost feels like should be there because the game is really lightning smooth, right? From the packaging, you get an idea what this game's going to be about. Delivering packages, right? We're from the box cover. I love the production. I love the theme. I love the little pieces that it gives you. The actual aviation devices, airplanes is what those are called. All of those
aviation devices.
I love games that let you build out routes, build up routes of airplanes and whatnot. Make deliveries on those. Use other people's planes when they get in your way, and you're like, oh crap, I wanted that route. Fine, you get a point, but I'm going to make like a 3 or 4 point delivery and get some bonuses and stuff.
So you're saying you liked the game. That's what you're saying.
I really like the game, so I don't find that little bit of extra rules around deliveries to be too much of a hang-up.
Okay. So for me, I think that is the part that frustrates me, that and the size of the board. But other than that, I did really enjoy the game.
The board is huge!
Yes, it's excessive, and it's so that you can have those little cards around the outside, but I feel like there could have been a better way to do that. Separate board, separate something, just have those mid-game scoring cards happen later on, something like that. But the rest of it I did really enjoy. I think is really fascinating. I love route building. I think that is a very fun mechanism in games, and the fact that you're building these routes, and it is relatively easy to deliver once you've figured out those rules. You're not super constrained by, oh, did I get all the right colored cards? Did I get this or that? Like, it's nice. It's nice, and I like a lot of what's going on.
I love that those delivery cards, because there's the two types of cards, the action and the delivery cards. I love the delivery cards are like, 3 points if you deliver to this city. And you're like, okay, I want to deliver to that city. From where?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just a different colored zone. That's why I say this is not a pick up and deliver game in the sense of like, there's not
moving
spawning
stuff.
points. Yeah, and you don't have to, okay, this is the only place from which to deliver, so I have to build all these massive routes. Like, no, you want to build a one length route across 2 different states or across 2 different provinces and make the delivery? Done. 3 points, because you have that card.
There are moments where you feel a little boxed in. Sure, you can use other people's routes, but you have to pay $1 per route that you use. And when you're getting $3 for completing that route from your card, and you're getting $2 from your technology to completing that route. Spending 2 of those to give to another person just feels like wrong.
And dollars is points.
Dollars is points, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, if I'm getting 2 points out of a delivery and Wendy's getting 2 also...
Why would I make that delivery? Why would I do that?
Yeah.
And so I definitely feel like that interaction is a little bit more tight than it initially comes across as in the rulebook.
But I'm glad that it's there because it encourages you then to build really wisely. This is another thing
it does.
This is another thing I really love about this game is that of the actions, right? One of them is bump up the technology track, right? Bump up the delivery track. You can do that once per turn. Doesn't matter what color you sync up with the domino thing around the outside. And you're like, okay, why would I not do that every single turn until I'm at the top of the track? But pretty quickly, the board starts filling in with planes, and you're like, I have to lay out as many planes as I can. And so, even though all of these other actions are free to you, and you can do it, you only have 3 actions, and you're probably going to be playing out planes, because you can't fall behind on the board presence. But also, hey, it's free. You can just move up that technology track. Why don't you do that? The priorities.
It's not free because points.
Because opportunity cost.
Action points. Yeah, definitely opportunity cost. Yeah, I really like a lot of what's going on in this game. I love the route building. I love the stuff. I'm going to give this a 7 because I think that it's a good game and I think there's a lot of really cool stuff going on with it. I have also played lots of other route building games, lots of other stuff that I've enjoyed. So I think that this is just a solid, good game.
Okay, interesting. For me, this is going to get an 8. I like this tremendously because it is another solid route building game with this fun delivery system. But also, I find the rules to be very smooth and not too difficult to teach. And I enjoy the little domino mechanism. I think that this is something kind of cool where you want to do something and depending on what colors are available on the ends there, it's going to kind of guide you. It prevents you from sitting there and going, I have 7,000 options of what I could do, and I have to consider all 7,000 of them. Like, no, green or orange? What are you going to do? And you're like, oh, man, I really would like to kind of work on red, but, okay, this is what I'm going to do in the meantime until I can do that. I feel like the game kind of, encourages you to go into these certain spaces and make do the best that you can with what there is. I love the bonuses. We haven't even talked about what I think really makes the game and separates it above other route building games.
Okay, tell me.
That action, instead of playing the domino card, doing that thing, instead being able to move your plane on the outside track, like the track that you build with those cards, becomes the alternate actions you can do, which can be huge. Especially late in the game, those are massive.
They can let you do some really big things that you don't have the colored cards for.
Exactly.
And I think that is cool. That is the mitigation of, hey, I'm stuck with what I have in my hand.
Absolutely.
But then you have that choice of do I want to run to the end and get the action that I want, or do I want to work down slowly but get more of those free action things?
I think that's what separates this from just like being an average delivery game, route building stuff. That bumps it up to an 8 for me because of how unique that is. I really like that meaty decision, especially, like I said, towards the latter part of the game. So an 8 from me. Really like this one.
Very awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today as we reviewed Airmail. I'm Wendy Yi.
And I'm Chris Yi.
Have fun flying your goods across the world.
Don't get stranded on an island with Tom Hanks.